I want to congratulate you on taking a few moments out of your day to take your wealth quiz. That is the first step toward a new life for yourself where you have a beautiful relationship with money from this day forward. You may have never even thought about that concept, having a relationship with money. Most people go through their entire lives never even considering something like this. But you are different, and that is why you are here. You want the best for yourself, for your friends, and for your family. You know you were not born to struggle, even if that's exactly what you have spent most of your life doing. Well, the good news is that you don't have to anymore. And somewhere in the depth of your being, you know this to be true. You have always known there is a better way, a path forward without constant pain and struggle. And I'll share that path with you in a few minutes. Now, first, if you stick with me for a bit, I'll share my incredible journey with you and how it led me to financial freedom and a beautiful relationship with money, a true friendship with money that has changed my entire life. I live an incredibly blessed life now, and I stay in a constant state of gratitude. I travel all over the world with my wife and 2 sons, running my business from my laptop, and we sometimes even flip coins to choose our next destination. I can hand my wife a credit card to go shopping whenever she wants to buy anything her heart desires, because I can easily pay the credit card bill no matter how big it is. But my life wasn't always this easy. Back in 2019, I was really struggling. Tons of sleepless nights worrying about overdue bills, constant anxiety about how to afford groceries for the week. My sons being completely embarrassed when they invited their friends over and we had ramen for dinner. And it wasn't the good ramen from restaurants. It was the hard blocks of ramen with packets of chemicals to make it taste like something edible. It really sucks to be a man who cannot provide for his family. I felt like a complete failure as a father and a husband. As men, we are supposed to be providers and protectors, and I wasn't doing a good job at either of those things. This completely wrecked my self-worth and made me feel incredibly depressed. One day, it felt like too much, far more than I could bear, and I began thinking of ways to end it all. I felt that if I was gone, my wife would be able to remarry someone who could provide for her and my sons, and that they would have a much better life without me. Looking back now, I see how crazy it was to think like that, how that didn't even make sense. I can now see the incredible pain that would have caused my wife and kids. But when I was in that state of deep depression, I couldn't think logically at all. I just felt worthless, and that I was holding them back from a better life. And I was. But not because I was alive. Instead, I was holding them back because I didn't know any better. I didn't understand how to change what I was doing. I was just stuck like a hamster in a wheel, going in circles all day long. Every single day, going nowhere at all. And the only way I could think of to get off that wheel was to just jump off and end it all. It got so bad that I began researching the best way to kill myself. I didn't want my wife or kids to discover my body in a pool of blood or anything else messy like that. I definitely didn't want to do something that might result in me being paralyzed or severely injured but not dying. And I knew if I hung myself, my wife would never get that image out of her mind. So taking an overdose of drugs was the only thing that made sense. I had been thinking for 3 days about how I could get a prescription for something that would kill me, and I couldn't come up with anything. So I went to the library to see if I could find a book on poisons made from household cleaners, ones that wouldn't make me throw up right away before the poison could kill me. As I drove to the library, the song Happy by Pharrell Williams came on the radio. I didn't think anything about it, but switched the station because I definitely was not feeling happy. But when I entered the library, I saw a display with some new books, and one jumped out at me. It was called Happy Money and was written by Ken Honda. Wow, that's weird, I thought. So I picked it up and began skimming through it. My jaw dropped open as I read. I felt like I had just received a divine intervention. Instead of looking for a book on poison, I decided to check out the Happy Money book and read it. I could always kill myself later, I thought, and maybe this was a message that I shouldn't, that perhaps there was a reason for me to live. So I spent every spare moment I had reading that book from cover to cover. It took me a couple of weeks, and I did my best to put the mindset Ken described into practice in my life. But for some reason, I just couldn't get over my depression. I couldn't figure out how to shift out of my dark despair. I felt really blocked, stuck, and helpless. Thankfully, I later discovered a solution that actually helped me shift my mindset. And I'll share that with you in a few moments. But first, I need to explain a bit about the mindset I discovered in Happy Money and why it is so important. When I was feeling stuck, wanting to be able to implement the concept of happy money into my life, I began researching everything I could on the topic of happy money. I found the concept on which it was based called Maro. I'll explain a lot more about Maro in a few minutes. But first, to give you some background, I want to share some related Japanese philosophies I discovered in my research. These foundational concepts will make it a lot easier to understand the concept of Maro when I get into it in a moment. The first concept I stumbled upon when researching Japanese philosophy is Ikigai. Ikigai means your reason for being of your life's purpose. There are 4 components to consider when you want to discover your Ikigai. Number 1, what do you love? What do you enjoy doing? What are you most passionate about? What gets you fired up to start your day with a smile? Number 2, what are you good at? What things do you have skills in? What things do people ask for your help with? What things come so naturally to you that you don't even consider them gifts? Number 3, what can you get paid or rewarded for? What skills do you have that people want badly enough to pay for? What knowledge do you have that people need? What gifts do you have that add value to other people's lives? Number 4, what do you have that the world needs? What skills do you have that can make the world a better place? What knowledge do you have that could improve the world? What gifts do you possess that will have a positive impact on the world? After you answer these 4 questions, you need to see what answers show up for all 4 questions. That is your Ikigai. And there are 5 pillars to fulfilling your Ikigai. Number 1, starting small. Begin with something easy and simple to achieve related to your Ikigai so you get positive reinforcement quickly. Big shifts in life almost always begin with small steps. Number 2, releasing yourself. Release yourself from caring what others think. You don't need anyone else's permission to live your purpose. Small-minded people can try to hold you back. Don't let them. Also, release yourself from self-judgment. No one is perfect. Our flaws make us unique. And I'll go much deeper on this concept with you in a moment. Number 3, harmony and sustainability. We are all interconnected, like trees in a forest, and everything we do has an impact on the collective as a whole. It's essential that we build connections with others that are in harmony with our life purpose and are sustainable. Number 4, the joy of little things. As you begin fulfilling your purpose, take note of the little blessings each day. Take time to celebrate the joy you feel when having a small impact, like bringing a smile to the face of a stranger. And drink in the beauty that exists in each moment. Number 5, being in the here and now. It's challenging to fully live your purpose if you are focused on the past or future. One can only be fully present by actually being in the present moment. You cannot fulfill your purpose in the past or in the future, only in the here and now. So, what does this actually look like? Well, I'm going to use an example of cells in the human body to help this concept of Ikigai to become more clear. If a cell wanted to be something different than its purpose, it wouldn't be fulfilling its mission. It would break the correct flow of the body in a way that has an effect on every other cell in the body. Just imagine if a cell in your heart decided one day that it wanted to be a brain cell instead, and it began fighting its purpose, trying to be and do something it simply wasn't designed for. It wouldn't work, and it could cause big problems for the entire heart and possibly the rest of your body. Sounds crazy, right? Well, We each are like cells in the body of humanity. We each have our own unique role. We just need to focus on being who we are and fulfilling our own unique purpose. It is the ego that wants to do something different than our intended mission. Ego creates envy. Ego creates fear. And ego is driven by a lack of trust. But when you focus only on fulfilling your role, your purpose, your ego drops down and eventually can drop out. But only when you drop into your heart. Your heart is where intention or kenge lives. Your heart is where love or I lives. And your heart is where gratitude or arigato lives. The mind houses the ego. The ego cannot live in the heart. The mind is led by fear, overthinks, overanalyzes, doesn't trust, is masculine energy, focuses on doing. The heart is led by love, feels deeply, knows the divine will provide, trusts fully, is feminine energy, open to receiving. The heart is intended to be in balance with and to balance the rest of the body and its surrounding energy field. This is why you hear people talk about dropping into your heart. An open and flowing heart center can no longer contain fear, anger, or other out-of-balance emotions. A flowing heart carries your intention, kenge, into the source field and emanates love, I, which allows you to receive love, I, allowing you to experience gratitude, arigato. All of this cycles through the heart. And this happens when we are in a state of receiving. When we are busy, we are in doing energy, which is masculine. When we are open and welcoming to receiving blessings and have room for those blessings in our lives, then we are in a place of feminine energy. All true manifestation happens first in feminine energy, the energy of receiving. When we are truly in right relationship to the divine, the universe, the all that is, we should always be in our divine feminine energy. In relationship to other humans, our energy response should be a mixture of feminine or receiving and masculine or doing energy. But when you stay in feminine or receiving mode with the divine, then your masculine energy actions emanate from your heart, and they are in response to the divine guidance you receive. The masculine energy of the Creator is so strong, the only natural response for us humans is to be far less masculine and be in our feminine or receiving energy. This may be uncomfortable until you get used to it, but it will allow you to fully trust that you will be provided for, that your needs will be taken care of, and that you will receive the abundant blessings that are your birthright. This will allow you to stay open and pay attention, watch and listen for divine guidance, notice synchronicities, respond to windows of opportunity, walk through doors when they open. Then you can move to correct masculine or doing energy because your actions will be aligned with the divine guidance you are receiving. Please remember that your emotional state is the most important factor in your ability to manifest and in your relationship with money. Love wins, always. Now, I want to introduce you to another Japanese term I discovered in my research, Kaizen. Kaizen is a Japanese term defined simply as continuous improvement. It is also an approach to business culture. In addition, Kaizen is a framework that guides the ongoing implementation of changes, enabling businesses to constantly improve their operational processes. The key to the effectiveness of Kaizen is for each person in a business to clearly know their role and to understand how their specific, unique role impacts the rest of the company and the customer. This allows each person to fully understand the impact of their work on the whole organization and the world at large. I bet you can now see how this ties into the concept I mentioned earlier about Ikigai and each cell fulfilling its purpose. The beautiful thing about all the Japanese concepts I discovered is how they all connect together. Now, let's go a bit deeper on Kaizen. There are 5 elements in Kaizen, and as I go through each one, I'll explain how you can use each of them in your life to fulfill your purpose, your Ikigai. Number 1, teamwork. In business, each person needs to understand how they work as part of a team and how they contribute to the organization as a whole. In your life, you can fulfill your purpose when you understand your role in the greater plan, and when you know how your Ikigai fulfills a unique purpose for the collective. You can see who you need on your team to bring your purpose to life. Number 2, personal discipline. In business, all employees need to be disciplined in managing their time and the quality of their work, making efficient use of resources, and following regulations. You can implement this same concept of self-discipline to focus on your own purpose. And you do this by holding yourself to a high level of quality and managing your time and resources efficiently. Number 3, improved morale. In companies, it is up to management to make sure employees are motivated, have great working conditions, and can earn rewards for their performance. You can do the same by setting up rewards for yourself when you achieve goals related to your life purpose, like taking a vacation you've been dreaming about. And you'll increase your chances of success by creating a great work environment for yourself. Number 4, quality circles. Businesses implement this concept by having teams that include workers at multiple levels of the company to collaborate and share different perspectives. You can use this same technique by finding people with various perspectives to get feedback on your ideas as you implement your life purpose. Number 5, suggestions for improvement. In companies, all employees need to be able to share suggestions that can improve the business. You can seek advice from people in your life that have knowledge related to your purpose and use that advice to improve the way you implement your Ikigai in the world. There are 2 more related Japanese concepts I uncovered in my research that I want to share with you now. And they are kintsugi and wabi-sabi. Earlier, when I covered the concept of releasing yourself from judgment when I explained Ikigai, I told you that your flaws are what make you unique. In Japanese culture, when a piece of pottery breaks, it isn't thrown away. Gold is used to glue the pieces back together. This practice and philosophy is called kintsugi. Kintsugi serves as a visual symbol for this philosophy that your brokenness can make you even more beautiful and stronger than you were before. As we go through trials in our lives that break us, we grow into stronger people, and those lessons give us far more depth and beauty. We grow when we encounter challenges, especially the ones that feel like they break us. It is when we are in our darkest places that we experience the most growth. And the new lessons we learn are symbolized by the gold that holds our pieces together. We become more beautiful when we grow in response to challenges. Wabi-sabi is a related concept that focuses on embracing all of our flaws. Instead of seeing them as weaknesses, we can realize that imperfections are what make us unique. We would never be able to even discover our life purpose without these unique imperfections we possess. You may have heard of the book Wabi-sabi Love, the ancient art of finding love in imperfect relationships. This is about embracing the imperfections in your partner and seeing them as beautiful gifts instead. Here is a great example I found in my research. There was a man who got extremely frustrated that his wife would leave her coffee cup in the sink instead of washing it. She always washed it later, but he couldn't understand why she just wouldn't wash it right away. For quite a while, he was irritated with her and kept getting upset every day when she did this. But at one point, he shifted his perspective. He began to look at the coffee cup in the sink with love. It was a unique flaw that his wife had that he finally learned to not only accept, but adore. That is wabi-sabi love in a nutshell. And you can apply this not only to people you love in your life, romantic partners, family, and friends, you can also apply it to yourself. You can begin embracing your flaws and seeing how they make you a unique individual, unlike anyone else on the planet. Now that I've covered Ikigai, Kaizen, Kintsugi, and Wabi-sabi, I want to get to the most important part of my research, Maro. And you will see how all the other Japanese concepts I just mentioned are connected to Maro. Maro is a short way of saying Magakoro, which means pure heart or sincere heart in Japanese, and it is a state of selflessness, the absolute opposite of egoic selfishness. It is related to the concept of service to others, which is the opposite of service to self. To have strong maro is to have a pure heart and live an upright and honest life. People with strong maro embody the concepts of Kaizen in their work, putting forth their very best effort in everything they do, and they follow their purpose, their ikigai. Related to money, maro is having a happy relationship with money. People tend to have one of the following types of relationships with their money: enemy, master, or friend. When you see money as your enemy, you feel like money is letting you down and not showing up for you. It can feel like a constant battle to obtain money in your life, and you can experience a lot of resentment toward people who have money. Money can also feel like an enemy when you aren't living your purpose, your ikigai. You can feel resentful for all the things you can't stand that you have to do to earn money. And if you are in fear of not having enough money, this is another way money can be your enemy. When you see yourself as a master of your money, it will feel like you need to force money to work for you, or that you might lose control over your financial situation if you don't keep tight control of your money. Seeing money as an enemy or as something you have to be a master of are both unhealthy. There is truly only one healthy relationship to have with your money, and that is to see money as your friend. When money is your friend, you don't fear losing it. You don't cling on to it for dear life. You trust that it will be there for you when you need it. You don't do things to sabotage your friendship with it. And your relationship with money is based on love instead of fear. You know that your needs will always be taken care of, and you take joy in spending it and sharing the energy of money with others. You see money as your equal when you see it as your friend. You obviously don't see your friends as enemies or as someone you need to control. When you see money as your friend, you can have an open heart and develop a truly deep and loving relationship with money. A happy heart equals happy money. So, how do you have an open heart with your money? Let me bring you back to some concepts I mentioned earlier when talking about your purpose, ikigai, kenge, ai, and arigato. When you use kenge, you set an intention regarding what you want in your life, and you set this intention in your heart. This sends a message out to the source field with clear instructions for what you want to create. And because everything is connected, source must respond to your intention. I'll go a bit deeper on this concept of how this process happens in a few moments. Then, when you center yourself in I, or love, this adds the most powerful emotional energy in existence to your intention. There is nothing more powerful than love. Absolutely nothing. And carried on the vibration of love, your intention is unstoppable. Once you receive the money or other form of abundance related to your intention, then you complete the cycle with arigato, or gratitude. When you express gratitude for what you have, you are using the strongest form of love there is, and it sends the message to Source, yes, this is exactly what I want, and I am incredibly grateful to receive it. So Source sends you more of what you are grateful for, which in this case is more happy money. It's a cycle that just keeps repeating. Kenge, intention. I, love amplifies intention. Arigato, gratitude, creates a positive feedback loop to receive more. I told you earlier that I would share what I discovered that finally enabled me to actually implement the concepts of Ken Honda explained in Happy Money. This was the key to finally turning things around in my life by developing a beautiful friendship with my money forever. My negative beliefs about money were so strong that I needed a lot more than the book to shift them. I was having a conversation with my wife about this one day, and she began sharing something with me that completely blew my mind. She had been doing a lot of research on attachment styles with romantic relationships. This was because her cousin Sarah kept having one bad relationship after another, and she wanted to help Sarah figure out why. What my wife discovered was that the most important predictor of relationship success was attachment style. So, she bought a bunch of books on attachment style and read them to help Sarah. She told me, I think these attachment styles apply to people's relationships with their money too. My mind was completely blown. So I began reading all the books she had, and it made complete sense. This was the missing piece in Ken Honda's book. The connection to attachment styles was incredible. It was what finally allowed things to begin to shift for me in my relationship with money. But I still needed some help. Thankfully, I ran into a man named Scott I used to work with at my first job right after I read the book, and we caught up over a cup of coffee. I told him about the book and how I was doing everything I could to make it work, but I was just stuck. Scott then told me he had the solution. He explained that he had spent the past few years as an audio engineer studying the impact of frequency audios and guided meditations, and he told me that they can quickly and easily erase negative beliefs and replace them with positive beliefs. Then, he said he would love to help me by creating some audios that focus on the philosophy in the book. I was floored and so grateful. I heard from him 2 weeks later, and he had created 5 audios for me to use. More about those in a moment. So I used them daily for a month, and they worked. I began to truly feel that money was my friend, and it actually felt happy to me. Blessing after blessing began pouring into my life. I was quickly offered a new job that paid 4 times my current salary. That was when I knew I needed to share these audios with everyone I could. I mean, how in the world could I sleep at night knowing that other people were suffering in a bad relationship with money, living in fear of not having enough, or feeling like they needed to hoard what they had because they might run out? So that was when I decided to create the Wealth Quiz and the customized Morrow Code report system to give people the specific solutions they need to overcome the things that are holding them back from developing a lasting friendship with their money. And that is exactly what I'm about to share with you. Now, this is the moment you get to make a choice that will impact the rest of your life. You can just keep doing what you're doing and stay in a frustrating and out of balance relationship with money, either seeing it as your enemy or needing to control it as its master, which both come from a place of fear. Or you can choose to shift to a different path where you have a harmonious relationship with money based on love and learn how to become friends with money. Thankfully, this powerful program I created can help guide you into this beautiful friendship with money, so you can live a life with balance, trust, and peace, knowing your needs will be taken care of no matter what. The Morrow Code is the key you need to unlock your new friendship with money. I don't want you to be looking back on this moment a year from now and regret not taking action to create a harmonious relationship with money. Instead, I want you to reflect on this moment as the turning point in your life, where your entire way of interacting and thinking about money changed forever. Just click on the button below and you'll receive instant access to the Morrow Code. This will enable you to finally relax and know that money has your back just like a best friend would. Here's what the Morrow Code includes. Your customized Morrow Code report, based on the results from the 5 Money EQ Personality Type Test. This report is based on the simple Japanese teaching of Morrow, and it will empower you to get in the flow of receiving and building a healthy, happy relationship with your money. This personalized report will go into much greater depth on the specific challenges you have in your relationship with money based on your quiz answers, and it will provide you with the exact steps you need to take to become best friends with your money, so it can flow into your life simply and easily forever. I'll also include the Morrow Code MP3s, which will work directly with your subconscious mind to greatly accelerate your results with the Morrow Code. The Kange Intention Audio is a 15-minute guided meditation track that will empower you to set specific and clear intentions for your finances, so the universe knows exactly what you want and need. The I or Love Audio 15-minute guided meditation track will guide you to drop into your heart so that love guides you to pull money directly to you like a magnet. The Arigato or Gratitude Audio 15-minute guided meditation track keeps the cycle going by allowing your heart to stay in a place of gratitude for all of the blessings you will be receiving so that even more abundance can flow into your life. The Morrow Code will empower you to finally have peace and trust that money will always be there for you. You'll be amazed at how quickly you are able to shift into a state of almost constant gratitude when you begin using these powerful audios to reprogram your subconscious by removing the negative messages around money and replacing them with a new concept about money being your best friend. And when you implement the changes in your mindset and heart space that are recommended in your customized Morrow Code report, your life will begin to transform into one where you no longer fear money running out or feel like you need to control it. You'll know that your money is happy and always flowing into your life through your heart. And in addition to your customized Morrow Code report and Morrow Code audios, you'll also receive these transformative bonuses. I want to make sure that you shift into a beautiful relationship with your money even more quickly. So, if you take inspired action to invest in the happiness of your future self today, you'll also receive these 2 additional bonuses, which are valued at over $80. And you'll get them absolutely free as my gift to you when you make the choice today to develop a loving friendship with your money. These 2 transformative bonuses are essential to speed up your results with the Morrow Code. Combined with your customized Morrow Code report, these powerful bonuses will empower you to get in alignment with your money far more quickly and easily. Bonus number 1, Money Vibration Booster. This powerful 10-minute bonus audio is a guided meditation that will shift your vibration into a state that is aligned with the frequency of happy money. It will increase the speed at which you can attract money into your life and keep it in your life for good. Bonus number 2, Zen Focus. This second 60-minute bonus audio is blissful music that will automatically shift your mind and heart into a place of peace and harmony. Use this powerful audio anytime you feel out of balance or stressed, and you'll see how quickly it can enable you to return to a state of happiness and gratitude. You'll be able to leverage all of the resources in this program and begin using them today, so you can start living the fully abundant life you desire and deserve. Are you able to see how these powerful tools will quickly shift your life into a place of gratitude and abundance? If so, just click the button below to begin creating your new friendship with happy money. And I want you to know that there is 0 risk on your part. You are fully protected by my no questions asked guarantee. I am so confident in the powerful results you will obtain with the Morrow Code, I want to ensure that there's 0 financial risk for you to try this out for yourself. You'll be fully protected by my 365-day, 100% money-back guarantee. If at any time during the 365-day period you don't feel that the Morrow Code is a great fit for you, just email my team and get a complete refund of your entire purchase. No questions asked at all. You are probably wondering why I want to help you create a beautiful relationship with money in your life. As I mentioned earlier, I know what it is like to struggle with money because I too used to feel that money is fleeting and that I would never have enough. I spent decades in constant struggle and fear that I would never be able to pay my bills each month. But when I discovered the power of the program I created with the Morrow Code and saw the financial freedom and happiness I was finally able to obtain by using this program, I knew that I had to share this with as many people as I could. I knew that I needed to have as big of an impact as possible by helping as many people as possible to finally reach a place of peace with money, so there could be more gratitude, love, and generosity in the world. So now, it's my life's mission to share this powerful program with as many people as I possibly can. Now, I want to take a moment to share some of the powerfully transformative results with you that our members have experienced with the Morrow Code. People like Rachel from Idaho who said, "The Morrow Code changed my perspective on money, and it was a paradigm shift. I would give it 6 stars if I had the option. Before using the Morrow Code, I always felt like I wasn't in control of my own finances. No matter how hard I worked or saved, my financial situation would only get worse by the end of the month. But now, I finally feel like I am in control. It's the most freeing feeling I've ever had. My financial troubles literally disappeared, and I made more money last month than I did all of last year." Then there's Jason from Maryland who said, "My parents fought over money most of the time when I was a kid, which made me fall into depression by the time I was a teen. By the time I reached adulthood, I found myself spiraling deep into a well of financial trouble, but the Morrow Code changed it all around. I've never felt freer from depression or from my financial troubles. Thank you. Or how about Amber from California? I have tried a lot of law attraction programs, but have found most of them superficial and selfish. But the Morrow Code is different. It is genuinely heart-based. As a single mother, I've struggled to make ends meet ever since the pandemic hit. That's when I discovered the Morrow Code. Within a week, I found a new job that paid double of what my old one paid. And on Christmas, I was able to spoil my 4-year-old daughter. Everyone who touches money should use the Morrow Code. I'm absolutely driven to share this gift of joy and freedom with enough people to create a massive ripple effect on humanity, because I know the enormous impact this will have on the planet. This is why it is essential that I make the Morrow Code incredibly affordable, so I can help everyone who needs this now. Look, it would be very easy for me to charge $497 for everything included in this life-changing program. But you are not going to invest anything close to that amount, because having a huge impact is the goal. And that kind of impact can only happen with a lot of people using this program. In studies on transcendental meditation, a small number of people practicing TM in a city were able to lower the crime rate in that city. And I know that if a lot of people use the Morrow Code report and audios and the bonuses I'm including, together we can have a massive impact. Having more people living in a place of deep gratitude every day will send out ripples of happiness to all of humanity, and this can shift us into a much better future for us all. So, I'm going to ask you for a favor, since you'll be receiving the Morrow Code for a deep discount. When you begin seeing your life transform into one of constant bliss and deep gratitude, when you see how powerfully this program impacts your life and brings you immense freedom, happiness, and inner peace, I want you to promise me that you'll share your success and tell your friends about it so they can experience this freedom and happiness for themselves as well. Not too much to ask, eh? I just want you and I together to increase our impact and make the world a better place for everyone. And we can do that together. So click on the button below now to get started. So how does this actually work? I bet you're wondering. It works by connecting your heart to the rest of everything in existence, to the source of everything that is. Let me share a story with you to explain a bit more about how this works. I bet you've heard of the concept of Ho'oponopono, which means cause things to move back into balance. But in case you haven't heard the story behind it, let me take a moment to share it with you. A therapist, Dr. Ahaliakala Hulen, was able to cure every single patient in the ward for the criminally insane in Hawaii State Hospital, and he accomplished this in a truly miraculous way. He never even spoke to one single patient. He stayed in his office, looked at his patients' files, and worked on himself instead. He spent each day as he looked at each of their files repeating the words, "I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you," again and again. All of the patients began making progress after a few months, and some who had been shackled improved to the point where they no longer needed to be confined. Patients on medications no longer needed them, and even the patients who had been considered hopeless were healed eventually. In addition, the staff who had formerly hated their jobs now began loving to come to work each day. Dr. Hulen passed away on January 15, 2022, and left us all with an essential message. The only purpose in your life and mine is the restoration of our identity, our mind, back to its original state of void or zero, Buddha, of purity, of heart, Jesus, and of blank, Shakespeare, through non-stop cleaning. In other words, our purpose is to restore balance, and because everything is connected, we have the ability to heal not only ourselves, but also everyone around us. Now, I want to share with you another person's perspective on how we are all connected. Neville Goddard. Neville was born in 1905 and was an author on the subject of manifestation. He had this powerful philosophy called "everyone is you pushed out." The concept is that we are each like facets of a diamond that, in whole, comprises the totality of God, or the all that is. God became invisible and resides in each of us, and each of us is the operant creator of our own world. One way he explained this is the analogy of an unfertilized egg. The egg is solid and impenetrable up to the second of fertilization by a sperm, and becomes impenetrable the second after fertilization. Each state of consciousness that exists is like an unfertilized egg until it is fertilized by our consciousness. When I read about this, a powerful thought hit me like a lightning bolt. Our feminine consciousness is creating a spark of masculine creator energy as a thought form that can unfold an entirely new world. This tiny bit of masculine energy residing in our feminine energy of consciousness is like a dot in the taijutsu, which is commonly known as the yin-yang symbol. The dot on each side of the taijutsu is the spark of creation, and it helps to restore balance, as Dr. Ihalikala Hulen stated is our purpose. With our thoughts and emotions together, we are able to create more balance, not only in our own lives, but in the world around us. We have the power within us to influence and shape the world around us, including our money. Emotions are far more powerful than thoughts, and, as I'm sure you know, love is the most powerful emotion of all. That is why the Morrow Code works so well. It gives you the tools you need to drop into your heart and out of your ego, so that you can be a powerful creator and allow money to become your friend. According to Neville Goddard, the world around you responds to your assumptions, and your assumptions are what create your vibration. When you have the assumption that money is your friend and that your money is happy, that thought form, combined with the powerful emotion of love, makes this assumption become real. And the world around you has no choice but to become aligned with that assumption and corresponding vibration. So, if you are ready to be the creator of your own beautiful world, developing a beautiful friendship with happy money, and living a life of blissful abundance, just click on the button below now to get started. Since you are still here, you must still have some unanswered questions. So let me take a moment to go over some of the most common questions I've received. I struggle with feeling greedy, trying to manifest money. How do I fix that? For many people who are loving and giving, service to others instead of service to self, it can feel greedy to ask for things for ourselves. I used to struggle with this myself. Then, one day, I came up with a huge insight that shifted this mindset for me permanently. Waterfall versus dam. If someone wants money just to keep it for themselves and hoard it, that is greedy, and that is the energy of being a dam, trying to hold back the mighty river of abundance that is flowing into your life. But instead of trying to stop the river and keep it all for yourself, what if you could be a waterfall? Waterfalls receive the abundance of the river, knowing it will always flow. It will always be there, providing more abundance forever. And so as a waterfall, the abundance flows through you and out to the world. The greater the abundance you allow to flow into your life, the greater impact you can have in the world. So, it is never greedy to manifest when you act like a waterfall instead of a dam. How quickly will I see results? The short answer is, it depends on you and several factors. The first is your readiness and openness to receive this information, and the effort you put into applying it in your life. Someone who goes through their entire customized Morrow Code report and applies the specific suggestions and uses the audios every day will develop a friendship with their money far more quickly than someone who simply skims through their report and doesn't use the audios. Just like everything else in your life, the amount of effort you put into this will be reflected in what you receive out of it. How does the Morrow Code work? Your customized Morrow Code report will provide the specific remedies you need to apply in your life to overcome your exact blockages to a positive relationship with money. And the audios will work directly with your subconscious mind to overcome limiting beliefs about money that are holding you back from having happy money in your life. And they will replace those beliefs with positive ones that will allow you to create a beautiful relationship with your money by creating your intention, Kange, amplifying it with love, I, being in a state of gratitude, Gato, when happy money begins flowing into your life. How do I get a refund if I'm not satisfied? If you aren't happy with your investment and your future happiness for any reason, just contact my team, and we will be happy to refund every single penny you paid. Absolutely zero